All right, guys. Hello, hello. Sorry, Facebook and iPhone don't get along sometimes, so sorry I'm running a few minutes behind. I had to set it all up here on my computer as opposed to doing it on my phone like I usually do. So, all right, I'm gonna pull it up and make sure everything is working on my end. So let me know if you can see me. I tagged those of you guys, yeah, we're working. Awesome. I tagged those of you guys who had said you were interested in coming or that might be able to come. So hopefully you will be able to watch this and then let me know if this is helpful. So this is week 2 of our movement march. So we are all focusing here on movement all throughout this month. And sorry, I'm getting distracted by these annoying pop-ups here. Okay, so today I'm going to be sharing the only 3 things that you're going to really need to know so that you can actually confidently get started with exercising today. And I'm going to be sharing a bonus tip so that you can really take action today hopefully, without spending too much time in the planning phase or getting overwhelmed with all the possibilities. So that's definitely my goal. I want to give you those 3 things. That I think most people really do need to know going into creating an exercise habit. And then I want to give you that final tip so that you can actually take action instead of getting stuck. So if you are here and watching, please say hello so I know you're here. And I'm going to see if, since I'm doing it on my computer, I might actually be able to see the comments today. So that would be super awesome. But we'll see if Facebook wants to cooperate. So yeah, drop me comments though, and even if I can't see them during the live, I will go back and answer everything. So all right, so let me know too as you come in. Let me know if there's anything in particular you would like me to talk about. But like I said, I've kind of got a plan here too, so you'll walk away with these three things that you need to know so you can get started with exercise. But before we dig in, there's a few things that I want you guys to know. I think many of you, especially who have been here for a while, you kind of know this about me, but I want to share a little bit about my philosophy, I suppose, because I want to kind of manage those expectations for anyone who's coming in hoping that I'm going to give you a workout plan that you can just take and start putting to work today. I don't do that so much, especially not in the free trainings. I do custom workout plans for my clients when they need them, but I don't do cookie cutter programs. I really don't like them. I don't think that they are useful. And I'm really not about giving people some cookie cutter program and then allowing them to basically force themselves to do it. So I don't like people to be really creating this relationship with exercise where it's an unenjoyable process or something they have to do. So yeah, I'm not going to be sharing a specific workout plan for you because I really truly believe that every person needs a custom plan or at least customizable. So for those of you who have been here for a while, I have done the new to 5K program, which is technically a type of cookie cutter program. However, that is done within a closed space where I get to work closely with the participants to make sure that they're actually being able to adjust the program to suit their needs and to adjust as things come up. That's part of why I really don't like cookie cutter programs. So I'm not going to go on and on about that. I just want to make sure you guys know I'm not giving you a workout plan today. I'm going to give you the basics, the foundations of what you need to have in a workout plan so that you can then get started. I did put up a post, I think it's pinned too at the top, so you should be able to find it pretty quick. Let me know if you need me to tag you in it though. A resource where we can all start sharing our favorite resources for exercise. I've put a number of the things that I've created over the last couple years in there just to give you some ideas to get you started. But if you need something specific, please do reach out and let me know. So, if you do need a custom workout plan for your body that's actually going to fit in your lifestyle too, I would love for you to join us in the Accountability and Consistency Club, because that is the space where I not only create custom movement plans, but I actually support my clients in implementing them and being able to consistently do them. That's why it's called the Accountability and Consistency Club, because I'm helping hold you accountable, and the amazing ladies in there are holding each other accountable, and you're finally being consistent with what you're doing, which is amazing. So you actually get results. So one of the things I wanted to announce is I normally charge an extra fee for we've got like the monthly rate for the Accountability and Consistency Club. You can also do 6 months at a time and save about 20% on that. And I normally have an additional one-time fee for a custom workout plan, because it takes me a little time to put you through a movement assessment and then create the plan. Most people do not need a fresh plan every single month. That's why it's a one-time fee. It's only $75 normally. But for this month, since we are focusing on movement, if you join the ACC, you will get your first movement assessment and workout plan for free as a bonus. So if you are interested in that, make sure you drop workout plan. You can just write workout plan or workout, something that lets me know you want workout plans in the comments, and I can reach out and just talk with you and help you decide if it's a good fit for you right now. So I wanted you guys to know too, I am a corrective exercise specialist. That's what I got my master's degree in. So if you have aches and pains or circumstances going on in your life that make you think that you're really not able to exercise, or you're doubting your body's ability to consistently exercise even though you want to, there's a high likelihood that I can help you with that. So definitely reach out and see how I can help you. And I'm going to be honest if I can't help you, or if I feel like you need to be referred to like a physical therapist or something. So I'm going to be really honest with you if I can help you or not. And so definitely just reach out if you would like to talk about that. So let me dive into a little of my philosophy on movements. I started talking about how I don't like giving people those cookie cutter programs and then basically creating this situation where people feel like they have to do it. And I think most people come into an exercise habit with that kind of preconceived notion. And I think that's partly, thank you, health and fitness industry. Thank you, society. They're always painting these pictures of people just doing these really hardcore workouts and like somehow smiling their way through it. And, raise your hand if you're like me and you're like, oh, that looks awful. That looks miserable. Like they're not smiling, like they're grimacing in pain. And I don't want that. So for me, I do not believe exercise should be miserable. So I should say too, there are some people who have worked up to where they can do those kind of workouts and they are enjoyable. Like every once in a while, I do enjoy pushing myself and kind of seeing what my body's capable of. And for another person, that might be just like total torture. So I recognize that there's kind of a scale here. There's a spectrum that we all sit on at different points in our journey. But regardless of where you're at in your journey, I think it really needs to come down to that everyone should be able to enjoy movement, because movement and exercise are freaking magical, okay? It is a gift. Your body is a gift, and it's a gift to get to explore what you and your body are capable of. And to me, that is what movement and exercise are supposed to be. I don't want you to look at exercise as punishment or a chore that you have to do, because they're not. So just if you're starting from that place where it's like, oh, I have to do this, I'm just going to get it out of the way, it's honestly better if you just don't. And that's, I'm a health and fitness coach telling you just don't exercise if that's where you're at. It's not good. It's breeding a continued unhealthy and even toxic relationship for you and your body. So just let's work through that. first before we like force you to go do exercise, because you really should be able to approach exercise or movement, however you want to call it. You know, if you have like a traumatic relationship with exercise and it's easier to just call it movement, let's just call it movement. That's fine. So let's start from that place of like, what am I going to learn about my body today? What am I going to explore? What am I going to discover I'm capable of? Because it really is a gift. So I feel like we should just make it a celebration, right? Make movement and exercise a celebration of what you're capable of. Make it even a ritual for self-care. You know, it doesn't always have to be intense, or, you know, it can be intense and it's still a ritual of self-care. You're still taking care of yourself when you're moving and exercising. You can make it an appointment where you're actually getting like almost like much needed counseling or therapy with you and your body, because most people, I have noticed, have a very disconnected relationship with their bodies. And so I love using exercise and movement as a way of reconnecting people with their bodies and healing that relationship that really has been broken and turned into a very toxic relationship by society and the health and fitness industry, and, you know, by the accumulated stressors of your life and not understanding what your body's actually trying to do for you. So, you know, it can be a very powerful time where you get to reconnect with your body, where you get to actually know it, where you learn to listen to it, where you learn to trust it, and ultimately you learn to love it through this whole process. So it's a pretty magical thing. So I like taking the mundane exercise habit, I guess, and making it more of a magical experience, because it really is, especially coming from my perspective, where I spent most of my childhood not exercising at all because it caused so much pain in my body, because I didn't know how to do it right, with my hypermobility disorder especially. And so when I finally discovered in high school that, oh wow, like specific gentle strengthening actually relieved my pain and actually made me think that, wow, my body might actually be capable of doing something cool. It might actually be capable of helping me live a normal life. And that was a huge gift. And being able to explore it over the last like 20 years or so, and really discovering what my body is capable of, that has been a huge gift, and it really is a magical experience. And like, you don't have to have a hypermobility disorder or injuries or anything to be able to experience this too. So I want to help you experience that. So let's dig in. I'm going to check my notes to make sure I try to stay on task here, because you can tell this is one of my favorite things. It really can be magical, and I could talk about this all day, but we're going to stay on task and get you those 3 things that you need to know so you can actually start exercising. So I will say next week. Next week, we're going to be digging into what exercise should look like in each of the phases most people are in. You're either in phase 1, which is where you're trying to get out of survival mode, or you're in phase 2, where you are learning how to thrive on autopilot. You just take care of yourself consistently. And phase 3 is where you have established this foundation, you're able to thrive, and now you're ready to take that next step and challenge yourself and really see what else you are capable of. So I'm going to dig in next week into like what exercise can look like in each of those phases and how it's used. So today I'm going to start with just these kind of 3 broad things, for want of a better word, that it doesn't matter what phase you're in. All 3 of these things, I highly recommend getting them in place in some way, shape, or form in your exercise routine. And again, if you are looking for some inspiration with like an actual exercise routine, what to do specifically, definitely check out the pinned post in the group for movement resources. And if you need something specific, let me know. And if you are interested in a custom movement plan within the Accountability and Consistency Club, definitely reach out to me on that. Again, drop workout plan in the comments so I can reach out to you and help you decide if this is right for you. So let's dig in. So number one. Ready for number one? All right, this one, you guys that have been here with me for a bit, you already know this one. I repeat it ad nauseum, so I'm not going to dig too much into this, but it's basically that, really what I just said. Number one is movement and exercise should be enjoyable and fully doable, so you'll actually be consistent. So when I was looking back through the videos that I've done, all the trainings I've done, I was like, I've taken that particular tip and I've like rehashed it so many times because it's so important. It is truly the tip that everyone seems to miss. And it's the reason why so many people have this really they have this relationship with exercise where they just hate it. It's not love-hate, they just hate it. And it's because they have been forced to do exercise that's miserable to them. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't reconnect with them with their body. It just hurts and it makes them not want to do it. And so often, out of a desire to start this consistent habit, we grab onto that nearest or most popular cookie cutter program and force ourselves to implement it. And more often than not, it is a program that is usually at a level higher than where you really should be starting because it doesn't matter what your history is. If you've been away from exercise for a while, you need to ease back into it. You don't just dive in head first and start doing like high intensity workouts twice a day or whatever the latest fad is. So yeah, I could go off on that one for a while. Sorry, guys. But point being, people do these fads. They don't enjoy them. They're not consistent. They beat themselves up. Cycle continues. You're still back to where you started, where you have not yet consistently put an exercise habit into place. Yeah, we don't want that, right? Exercise is supposed to be magical. It's supposed to be enjoyable. And you should be able to get the results that you want from doing it. So I think what I really want to say on this one is when you're trying to start an exercise routine, make sure it's something that you enjoy. That's really all it needs to be. Make sure it's something that you enjoy that is doable for you, that will fit into your schedule. So release the supposed tos. I think I'm going to have to create a whole little list of the other videos. So let me know in the comments if you would like me to tag you in those videos so you can kind of dig into this one a little bit more, because I've done quite a few videos on really just digging into this more. So let me know if you want to tag in any of those, and I will actually probably group them all into a guide in the group. So, but yeah. Make it enjoyable, make it doable. It's part of I refer to the 3E formula. It needs to be easy, effective, and enjoyable, right? And if it's not those, it's not worth doing. It just isn't, because you're not going to stick to it, and it's not going to build a healthy relationship with exercise or with your body, and you're not going to get the results you want. So make it easy, make it effective, make it enjoyable. So we're going to dig a little bit more. Number 2 is the one that we're going to dig into more next week, which is creating a balance. So what I mean by that is exercise, regardless of what phase you are in, needs to create a balance for you between acting as a stress reliever and acting as a stressor. Because most people, especially what the health and fitness industry likes to push, is that exercise is a stressor that is going to force your body to adapt and become the body that you want, right? And this is true to a degree. If you're looking for a massive body transformation, it's not going to happen being comfortable on the couch, right? We're going to have to trigger some uncomfortableness in doing some exercises that trigger your muscles to grow, that trigger your body to burn fat, and all of that. However, our society seems to forget that it's a two-way street. It is a two-sided coin. There's a yin and a yang to it. And your body was made to move. And yes, it was made. Your body is very adaptable. It's very capable of adapting and changing and growing and getting stronger at any point in life. However, your body is also there, and this might be kind of a fundamental philosophical difference between me and most of the health and fitness industry, but I believe that your body is here to carry you through your life so that you can serve your purpose. And you can't do that if you are constantly creating this antagonistic relationship with your body where you're just always stressing it, and forcing it to grow and forcing it to do the things that you want it to do. It doesn't work. Like, your body will break down and it will turn its back on you and say, fine, you do it yourself. And that's what most people get themselves into. So we need to have a balance, because not only is your body made to evolve and grow, but your body is also made to help you relieve stress, to help you process emotions, to help you enjoy life. And it can only do that if you create a balance in your workouts, in your exercise plan. So, like I said, we're going to talk more specifically about what this looks like in each phase next week. Because obviously, if you are in phase 1 where you're in survival mode, you're probably going to want to swing it more towards the end of the spectrum of stress relief, right? You don't need more stress. And that's where people kind of get mixed up, right? And then if you're in phase 3, where, yeah, you're ready to take on a challenge, you're ready to see what else you're capable of, then, yeah, you may swing it a little more towards the side of stressing your body, because you've already gotten to that place of thriving, right? So stress isn't really a huge issue for you anymore. So when you are planning out your exercise for today's video, really what I want you to think about more than anything is, what are you needing, right? What sounds nice to you, right? Coming back to number 1, what's enjoyable and what's doable for you? Because if you're in a place where you're like, I cannot handle any more stress, then how can you use movement to start relieving stress for you? Can you do some yoga? Can you do some stretching? Can you go for a nice rhythmic walk? Because that stuff is magical. That's where all of my creative ideas start flowing, is when I'm on a walk or a run. I'm like, wow, this is great. Like, everything releases, and you just, all the ideas start flowing. It's great. So decide what you need, right? And this really comes back to the idea of, like, everyone needs a customized workout plan. Let's ask you and your body what you guys need, as opposed to being like, here's the best workout plan. Now go do it. Good luck. And you're terrible if you can't stick to it. Like, this is not what our world needs more of, right? So what do you need? What would be most helpful for you? What balance do you really want right now between stress relief and stress, right? And how can you use movement and exercise to better support that? So, you do also want to kind of keep in mind what your health and fitness goals are, right? And we'll talk more about that one next week too, with the phases. Because I think, and I'm going to have to probably do a whole training on this on its own, because I've been noticing there's a lot of mix-up that happens between phase 1 and phase 3, where people who are in phase 1, they're really stuck in survival mode, have phase 3 goals and visions for what they want their body to be like. And unfortunately, you will not be successful at achieving those things until you get out of phase 1, right? And so often people will they have those phase 3 goals, and so they're implementing phase 3 strategies that are very stressful, that really just reinforce and keep them stuck in phase 1. So I want you to keep that in mind and try to get real honest with yourself about which phase you're really in, and what type of exercise might really best support you right now, And that's where it just, being honest, like, what is enjoyable to you right now, right? Especially if you've not been able to have a consistent exercise habit through most of your life. The key to consistency, and that's a video I can tag you in, and let me know if you want me to. The key to consistency is enjoying it and it being something that fits easily into your life so that you can do it consistently. So start with that. Start with number 1 and 2. Is it easy, effective, and enjoyable for you? And is it creating the balance that you honestly need in your life right now between stress and stress relief, right? And then, next week we will talk more about health and fitness goals and the phases and how you can start using exercise to reach those. Again, too, though, everyone has their own goals. So if you have your own goals, please do reach out to me so we can talk about what kind of plan is actually going to work for you. And that is what we do in the Accountability and Consistency Club. So drop ACC for me too if you'd like more information on that. So finally, let's see. Let me make sure I'm on track here. Yep. Okay, we're good. So number 3. Number 3 is creating a well-rounded workout routine. So I'm going to give you what a well-rounded workout routine includes, not to overwhelm you, but to give you some ideas of where to start. That way, if you're thinking, okay, like I want it to be easy, effective, and enjoyable. I want it to create a good balance between stress and stress relief, but what should I do, right? So again, go to that pinned post because there's some good resources in there with like workouts and stuff that you can start with. And I'm going to be adding a few more because I've got quite a few workouts on my YouTube channel that could be good for you guys. But for a well-rounded workout routine, the 3 things that I recommend people start with, and of course only pick one at a time, but the 3 things I recommend getting in place sooner rather than later are some core strengthening, because all movement comes from your core, and generally, especially building on last week's video on dealing with aches and pains, in my experience, almost all aches and pains and injuries and chronic issues can generally be traced back to a weakness inside the core and the hips. Almost always. So starting to strengthen those areas are really, really important. That being said, there's a right way and a wrong way to dig into that. So let me know, write core in the comments if you would like me to do a training on that in particular. That's one. I did the whole core challenge. I haven't scheduled that yet for this year, but I'm going to be doing the core challenge again this year and updating it, where I will actually teach you the right way to start with core training. So drop core in the comments if you would like me to do a training on that, or if you're interested in joining the core challenge when it comes up. The other one that I really do recommend, since you might moan and groan over this, cardio. And this is not the miserable kind of cardio, not miserable. I am talking enjoyable walks, right? If you enjoy running, enjoyable runs. If you enjoy bicycling, enjoyable bicycle rides, or being on the bike in the gym, anything that is rhythmic where you can breathe, that's really the key here. So again, drop cardio in the comments if you want more training specific to cardio. But the big key with cardio is that you can actually breathe fully during it, not that you're gasping for breath. So slow it down and find what's enjoyable to you. Like a walk is always a really great place to start, especially if you can get outside now that it's almost spring. It's amazing the creativity that can start flowing for you and the stress relief that can start happening when you do some just gentle walks outside. Totally counts as cardio. So, and the other one is flexibility work. Those of you, I know some of you guys are on that hypermobility spectrum. This does not apply to you. Talk to me if you want to find out more about, actually strengthening up your body. Stretching might feel good for your body. I think we talked about this last week. We did. But stretching might feel good for your body. It is not good for your body until you are also doing the strength and endurance training that your body actually needs if it's hypermobile. But those of you guys who are very tight, your body will be very grateful if you start doing a little more stretching. So those are the big 3. So I would say, start first with whatever movement that you really enjoy, right? If it's dancing, if it's yoga, if it's anything, like please just start with that before overcomplicating it potentially with like, oh, is this core training? Oh, is this cardio? Oh, is this stretching? If you find it's being overwhelming for you, don't worry about this number 3, but I wanted to share it today since we are kind of talking about the foundations of a good exercise routine. So those are the 3 that I really recommend just trying to like work in places if you can. And again, check that pinned post for some resources on these to get started. I think I need to get the getting started with cardio challenge back up too. I don't think that one's live at the moment. So again, drop cardio in the comments if you want access to that sooner rather than later, and I'll get that up for you. So yeah, the other thing, once you've gotten like core and some cardio and some flexibility work kind of building into your routine, then when you're ready, you can kind of start adding in more strength. That being said, of course, those of you who are hypermobile, we really want to start with that core training, and strength training are kind of really the 2 foundational ones for you if you're more hypermobile. We really want to build up that strength and endurance for you versus cardio initially, because you actually need to build up to a certain level of strength and endurance in your joints before you can actually handle the rhythmic ongoing movement that cardio requires. So but for those of you guys who are more on the tight end of the spectrum, or just more moderate, you're not hypermobile at all, you're just normal mobile, is that a thing? But for those of you who are there, I definitely recommend core training, flexibility, and cardio. So that's it on those. Those are the 3 big things that I think everybody really should consider when they're first starting an exercise routine or first getting back into exercise. So I hope that's helpful. Let me know how this is for you, if this is helpful or not. And of course, drop just a comment, or you can drop the word in the comments if you want more trainings or access to challenges and that sort of thing, on cardio or core or flexibility, whichever. Or strength even. So yeah, definitely reach out to me if you have follow-up questions on that, and I'll be checking the comments in a bit. So the final tip that I wanted to share for you guys today, so that you can actually go take action. Let's make it as super simple as possible and pick one thing, just one thing that is easy for you to do, that sounds enjoyable, that you will do, and then go do it. Okay, so don't worry about, oh, is it core? Is it cardio? Is it flexibility? What is the one form of movement? I don't care what it is. What is the one form of movement? It could be dance, it could be yoga, it could be strength training, it could be a walk, it could be anything you want it to be. Swimming, even, yes, anything. Pick the one thing, though, that sounds most enjoyable to you, that you think you would enjoy doing, that your body would enjoy doing, that would make your body feel good. And that would, relieve some stress for you, most likely, because I think most people here, you've had experience with the stress side of exercise. So I think it's probably better to try out how movement can actually relieve some stress for you. So what's the one thing that would be enjoyable, that might relieve a little stress, and that you can totally fit into your day today? What's that one thing? Drop it in the comments so we can hold you accountable, and go do it. Okay, that's as complicated as it needs to be, which is super simple, right? Really, the hardest part is actually going and doing it. So make sure you drop it here in the comments so that we know that you're going to go do it, and then you can always come back and drop a post in the group to celebrate that you did do it. And again, it doesn't matter how long it is. Definitely go watch the Getting Back to Exercise video in the guide section. It's in the Getting Back to Taking Care of Yourself series, because I dig more into that. Like, it does not matter how long it is. Like, if you're like, I can fit 5 minutes of dancing around my living room in today, that's awesome. Go do it. So that is pretty much all I had for you guys today. I will link to videos that I kind of referred to here, so you guys can go check those out as well. And yeah, drop in the comments which challenge you'd like me to get up and running for you guys sooner rather than later. We are going to be doing the movement habit challenge at the end of this month to kind of ease you into it. And then maybe in the next month or so, we could do the core challenge or the cardio challenge or something else entirely. So let me know how this was helpful for you, and I hope you guys have a beautiful, wonderful day. So again, drop any comments for me and I will come back and check them later. Bye guys.